Winter is here, but the garden doesn't stop. I have brought my garden indoors from tropical treasures like Cavendish bananas and pineapples to everyday staples like green onions, bell peppers. But what happens when uninvited guests, those tiny black bugs, try to take over? Stay tuned as I share how I'm fighting back while keeping these plants thriving all winter long. Hey, garden lovers, welcome back to Greener Acres Garden Oasis. Today, we're diving into how have been winterizing some amazing plants indoors. From nurturing tropical fruit trees to tackling pest problems, there's so much to cover. Grab your garden gloves and let's dig in. First up is my ginger. This aromatic powerhouse thrives indoors during the colder months. With a sunny window and just the right amount of water, it's a low maintenance plant that rewards you with fresh rhizomes for cooking or tea. Yes, bananas can grow indoors. They love a warm, humid environment. So I've set up a grow light and keep the hair moist with a spritzer. Watching these tropical beauties adapt indoors has been incredible. Meet the stars of the show, my pineapple pups. These little guys are offspring from my original store-bought pineapple, affectionately named Pineapple Hope. With lots of light and care, I'm hopefully they'll grow into thriving plants. I've already harvested a ripe pineapple from Pineapple Hope. My pomegranate tree has been settling indoors nicely. Did you know some varieties can tolerate cold conditions? This one that I have here is a cold hardy variety. A sunny window and some TLC are all they need to stay happy through the winter. These bell peppers are growing. These bell peppers are proving they don't need summer to shine. By giving them consistent light and trimming back older leaves, they're still producing. Now, let's talk about these green onions. They have been invaded by tiny black bugs. To combat, to combat the infestation, have whipped up an insecticide soap mix and gave the plants a good spray. Fingers crossed, this does the trick. We'll check back in a few days to see the results. I've been checking up on my plants that are currently housed in the basement. These are plants that I have winterized. I brought them in from the outdoors and housing them in my basement so they can overwinter. Here I have my ginger plant and my Cavendish banana. They're close to a window where the sunlight comes in, and I also have a plant light that's helping them to get some additional lights. Here are my pineapple pups. This is a pineapple pup that came from my pineapple hope. I ended up having about two. I've gotten two pups, and here's the pineapple hope, the mother plant. Here's my ginger again. Once a week I give them some water. In the blue pot is my pomegranate. And here's some peppers. Some peppers were in the spot I brought in. It was blossoming there. It has one bell pepper on it. Amongst the peppers is my green onions. In Jamaica we call these eskelions. It's got these bugs on it. Not sure what they are. I'm gonna treat it and see that would take care of the bugs rather than cutting them down and letting them regrow. I'm gonna try. I have some insecticide here that I'm gonna mix up with a little peppermint oil and see what happens. I'm not sure what these bugs are, but it seems like they are sucking the life out of these scallions or green onions. The insect killing soap that I'm going to use to see if it will take care of those bugs. So in my bottle I already have some peppermint oil that I was using outdoors to keep away mosquitoes. So I'm going to add a little bit of this soap. So I'm going to guesstimate, I'm going to pour just a little tip to the container. So I couldn't put my hands on a measuring device at the time, a measuring cup or a spoon that I keep in my garden for my garden stuff. And 10 times that amount, it's more than 10 times that amount in a bottle. Put the lid on and I'm gonna pump it up to get some here in. I'm doing laundry, guys, while I'm tending to my plants, so that's the noise you're hearing in the background. Shake it real good so it mix well with the liquid in the spray bottle. And then I'm going to spray the bugs or the insects that's on this on these plants. Oh, it's not coming out as well as I expected it to. My basement is not a finished basement, so I use it for my plant winterizing area, and I do my laundry there. I also have a greenhouse in the area. I showed you that in a bit. So trying to spray these bugs real good with this mixture of insecticide and see if it takes care of the issue. Spray away all those bugs and see if it fixes the problem. Well, the power of the liquid that's been sprayed washing the bugs down into the pot. If they resurface, then I might have to do another mixture and put a little bit more, make it a little stronger to see if it will remedy the situation. So that was a good dosage of insecticide soap, and I'm hoping that next time I check that the problem will be resolved. My ginger that I bought indoors, I did not harvest it, and I'm gonna replant it back in the spring, so there should be a lot of ginger under the soil here. You can see the rhizomes popping up here underneath the soil, and I'm gonna probably put it in a bigger pot so I can get more ginger next growing season. I brought my banana plant in and it's holding up. Pineapple Hope it produced gave me a pineapple. That was a store-bought pineapple. It was so sweet, and I grew it from the top. I kept the mother plant even though it had given me a pineapple, which I ate. It was so sweet and delicious, just like the store-bought one. But I kept the mother plant just for keeping its sake, even though I read and learned that a pineapple only produces once. Just in case they are wrong about the pineapple plant, and it has been sending me babies ever since. Pineapple Hope is still growing. It's getting bigger and bigger, even though it's not producing any pineapples, just that one. And that might be the only pineapple that I will get from Pineapple Hope. This is a pot I had with some bell peppers outside, and I had some green onions. In the Highlands we call it eskelion, growing, and I bought it indoors because of the pepper. Normally I would leave the eskelion outdoors, and this morning when I looked at it, it was covered with, I don't know, these little dark bugs. I don't know what they were. So I gave it a dose of a little peppermint oil mixed in with some insecticide earlier, and I'm hoping that it will take care of the pest that was on it. I'll look at it in a couple of days and see how, if it was progressive, and if I have to put another dose on it, I will. Look at my pepper from the tree that I bought in, and it's living in my basement. It's not a finished basement, and I have all my plants from outdoors that I bought in. I have them here in the basement overwintering, and when it warms up back in the spring, then all these plants will definitely go outdoors. This is my pomegranate. All the leaves are gone. It's sending a few green leaf here and there. There's some greens over there, some green leaf, but it will remain like this over the winter, and then as it gets warmer, closer to spring, then I might see the growth of some new leaves. And I water this once per week. I collected some seeds, and I have them wrapped in the paper here. Some red bell pepper, yellow, orange, and green bell peppers that I harvest seeds. I have some garlic and onions here. I had planted from this batch in the fall, but I kept some just in case those did not survive the winter. Lemon cucumber seeds that I had harvested from my last season, and some pickling cucumber seeds. And of course there's some seeds in those bottles below. So let's go them and see what I have here. So I have some okra seeds that I harvest from the okras that I planted last year. Some sunflower seeds that came. I believe these were free gifts that came with some seeds I purchased. These are morning glory seeds that I harvested from the morning glory last season. Some marigold that's harvested from my garden also. All these seeds that I have here were harvested from my garden. Black-eyed peas, crisp melon. My daughter had planted a crisp melon in her garden, and she introduced me to the fruit, and I decided I was going to try growing some next season, so I harvested the seeds. And these are long neck squash. And there's some beans that I planted in my garden, and I harvested some dried seeds, and I'm going to plant these next season. And some black-eyed peas. Love black-eyed peas. Using these to plant next garden season as well. There's some more seeds I have that I purchased
from the store. I had already unboxed these. Let me take these out. So let's pour those out and see what I have here. So bitter melon. I will be growing some bitter melon next season. And some gourd, edible. These are edible gourds. They are so tasty. Some long beans. I have some purple carrots. And I bought all these seeds that I just poured out here from Baker Creek. Some bok choy. There's some cowpeas. Oh, I love that in soup. Cowpeas is so rich. I love it in soups and stew. Very rich and tasty. Some sweet chocolate pepper. Bachelor button. I did have some more bachelor button that I bought over here. Or there might be somewhere else. Oh, maybe not. Bachelor fireworks and red boy. My mom used to grow these back in the Highlands, and they used to be so pretty in the garden, and I purchased them. And here's some heirloom seeds. Spinach. I'll be definitely growing some spinach in the spring. So in my basement I have an inside greenhouse. It's just closed up. I can't take anything in it as yet for the next season. But this is what my indoor greenhouse in my basement looks like. There's no light in it right now. So these were some extra potted stuff that I didn't have the room to plant, to grow these in my garden last season. I'm going to rest my seeds here. And in the early part of spring, I might end up starting some of my seeds in this greenhouse before I eventually take them to the outdoors. So there you have it. Planning for next gardening season, and eventually as I start making more plans and get closer to the spring garden season, you will be seeing more of what I'm doing to get ahead of the garden. I'll be starting indoors before I eventually take it on the outside. Over here in my basement is another area where I have a lot of garden stuff. I have my mosquito dunk for my water, my pots that have a water reservoir, and I have a lot of garden stuff in here. My garden tools, my spray bottle for spraying. This right here is where I have worms. I have a worm farm here. I have red wrigglers, and I feed them scraps from my kitchen. I feed them my kitchen scrap, paper, and I get the fertilizer from the worm casting.
Here are some tips for winterizing plants indoors. Lighting matters. Most plants need at least 6 to 8 hours of light. I use grow lights for tropical and fruiting plants, and I also have them close to a window where during the daytime they're getting some extra lights also. Humidity is key. Keep tropical plants happy by misting them or using a humidifier. So I mist my plants, and every week I give them a little water to keep the soil moist. Pest prevention. Always inspect your plants before bringing them indoors. Treat infestations early to avoid bigger issues. And also check on them regularly to make sure there isn't any new infestation. Patience. Patience pays off. Plants grow slower in the winter months, so we want to focus on keeping them healthy now for a strong spring comeback. What are you winterizing indoors this season? Let me know in the comments below. Have you had any success with tropical plants? Or are pests giving you a hard time? Share your tips and stories. I'd love to hear about them. Now let's tune in to how I'm taking care of these plants. I checked back 1 week later, and a lot of the bugs came back, not as much as it was before. So I made up another mixture of the soap insecticide, made it a little stronger, and give it another spray. Hopefully, this will take care of some more, maybe another dose or so, and I'm hoping that all these aphids will disappear. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey of my garden oasis and winterizing and making preparation for the spring gardening season ahead. Stay tuned for the next video. This is Dottie from Greener Acres Garden Oasis Gaggle. Gardening always, growing on.